So in 2024, me and one of my mentors, Mahiz, dropped an insane podcast, speaking a lot about my journey, scaling up different info product offers, growth operating, and overall how it is to run a 6-figure business at 19 years old. Now I'm a lot further down the line, working hard, but watch and be blessed.
If you're a complete beginner, I don't think a mentorship makes sense. Year 7 to 9, I remember I would go to like Home Bargains or something, grab all the sweets, grab the drinks, and because no one could really go out for lunch, I'd be selling the sweets in school. And we scaled with my first client to roughly shy of 15K months, no appointment set up. Pure stories and content, just vibe, bro. No system, no appointment set, no nothing.
If the people coming in are just not good, nothing is going to work, bro, honestly. All right, guys, welcome to the channel. I'm excited because I have a very special guest, also a good friend as well too, as actually a student in, my mentorship specifically, and he's made a lot of money. And what we're going to do is pretty much just like talk about pretty much like everything he did, from how he started to how he got here, the stuff he learned, the mistakes he had, so that hopefully you can learn from, the stuff that I've been able to teach him and the stuff he's been able to do as well too, and pretty much like get a clear idea of what it takes to actually get to this level. So I'm going to introduce Isaac, the man himself, a growth operator, work with a bunch of clients. And what's your biggest ever month that you actually made?
15K profit. So yeah, man, it's nothing that I'm proud of now because I know what I want to achieve, but 15K profit so far.
That's amazing. And how long did it take you before you hit that 15K profit mark?
I would say I started growth operating around October 2023. Got my first client around then and started putting in work for him then. Did my first maybe 10K month around March 2024. And then from then onwards, it was pretty smooth sailing,
That's amazing, man. So I know there's a bunch of stuff that happened within that like October to like March period. Even like right now, it's like July. So we're going to like dive right into all of that stuff, bro. So just talk to me, man. Like what even got you into this online space in the first place? Like what was like the main thing?
It's an intriguing one because I don't think I got into the space very organically how most people do, where they see someone making money online and then they say, how do I do that model? I got into this space because I kept seeing influencers, kept seeing content creators, coaches online who were making content, probably had big followings, but they didn't really know how to monetize their audiences. The first person I saw that I was like, I think I can help him was Nathaniel Messiah.
Yeah.
Very big content creator. I'm sure everyone knows him, the Gymshark guy. And he was doing great in terms of audience engagement, being this popular guy. But I truly believe that he could make easily 200, 300, 400, 500K every single year, And so I saw his audience, saw what he could have done, and I reached out to him, but nothing really happened off that. But off the back of that, I knew, okay, this is an angle. This is a market that I want to be in,
So what made you like realize that? Because I feel like a lot of people, they see all these people that follow like a bunch of influencers, they have, 100K, 200K, but they don't really think like the money side of things. So what made you start thinking about like, wait, this guy can actually make money? Like what brought that thought into your head?
Genuinely speaking, I've always been a very business oriented individual. Like when I was younger, I was selling everything, selling trainers, PS5s, electronics, everything you could think of.
Yeah.
I was always trying to hustle in school and make money. So I'm always looking, and I think it was that clip from Andrew Tate where he said, the first thing you want to do with business is look at other businesses and see how can they make money. Look at a coffee shop. How did they make money? How can they make more money? How can they cut costs and expenses? So I kept seeing that. And then further than that, it goes down to this concept, information and implementation, right? Nathaniel was just selling workout plans, £15, £20, £30. And yes, he made good money from that. But the reality is he's selling the lowest level of a solution. He was only selling a quick workout plan someone can look at, that's cool, but in reality, they didn't have the implementation, the accountability, the mentorship, the guidance, someone to hold their hand in the fitness journey, you know? So I saw that and I knew that that was the smallest position on the value ladder and I knew he could achieve.
100%. That's really good, bro. So were you one of those guys in school that used to like have the Kinder Buenos and stuff?
Man, I was that guy, man. Literally, year 7 to 9, I remember I would go to like Home Bargains or something, grab all the sweets, grab the drinks, and because no one could really go out for lunch, I'd be selling the sweets in school. It was an enjoyable process and I learned a lot from it, but that was like my first ever hustle.
Like
really.
first, I feel like a lot of people, they always start off with that, then they start making a lot of money. So that makes a lot of sense, man. So Talk to me about like the first ever success like with Growth Operating. Like, how did you make like your first ever like, you know, paycheck or like commission that just came straight to like your bank account? Like, how did that whole process work?
So my first ever client, Alex Cowling, fitness influencer, and he had the similar problem to Nathaniel, you know, selling workout plans, like calisthenics-based ones, and it was all cool. But I remember he knew one of my friends through the university they went to. I got my friend, I was like, you have to get this guy to meet me in person. I'll pitch him myself. You just need to secure the meet. So we secured the meet, me, my friend, Alex, and then his other friend. And I pitched him in person. I said, look, bro, I understand. Yeah, you've got the workout plans going on, but that's not making you much, 200, 300, 400, 500 a month.
Yeah.
Realistically, you can sell these high ticket fitness coaching programs that actually get people results. And off the back of that, he agreed to it. My first ever rev share deal was 1K a month plus 15% or something.
That's crazy. Was that with Alex or?
Yeah, that was with Alex, right? And so, but this is the thing. Back then, I think when we had our first month where we went from like 0 to maybe like 3 or 4K, nothing crazy. But even then, it was a difficult one because that 1K plus 15% was like almost half. So it was like, even he was like, okay, cool, this is cool. We're doing something, but I'm basically giving you 50% of the business.
Yeah.
So we angled more onto the rev share side. I remember it was more about maybe like December, January, where we decided instead of doing 1K plus 15%, we'd go into more of a 35% basis, pure rev share. But that's obviously amazing because you're paid purely on performance,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
Like you're paid purely on the fact that if you get them results, if you make the money, they make money, happy days, everyone's more happy.
100%. So yeah, bro, like that's actually pretty interesting because you got the client and you got him some sort of like results. Like, where were you getting your information? Because were you just like freestyling everything, or where did you get your information of what to do and how to get results?
It's funny because back then I used to watch you, Suwe, Waleed, J. Ruve, and Eddie Cumberbatch as well, because I think I don't want to call him the godfather of growth operating, but for sure he was doing his thing. Like he was putting out a lot of content. So I was watching you guys. You were making a lot of good informational videos and I was really trying to piece the puzzle together. But the problem was I didn't have the whole formula. Yeah. I just had like the stuff I was just straggling along, you know, getting the random pieces of information. And they were working enough to the point where I scaled Alex to first month 3-4K, second month 12K, I believe, right? His whole offer. And so it's a case where I was like, okay, something's working, but what comes with that is inconsistent results because I didn't really know how I got the results. I kind of just got the results.
Yeah.
In a sense, you know? So.
I feel you. So what made you realize, like, after, like, you know, binging a bunch of these videos, watching it, what made you realize, you know what, I kind of need, like, the formula to, like, you know, scale past this?
I kept seeing so many people. I mean, Alex Hormozy, he has a mentor of some sort. All the big guys you see, even if we go to the most basic level of footballers, Cristiano Ronaldo didn't become the best player in the world by himself, you know? So you need some sort of guidance. And I think the most accelerated path is to find someone who's doing exactly what you want to do, or in your space and industry at least, and just buy their knowledge, you know? Yeah. Yes, you could gain their knowledge by just buddying up to them and becoming like a friend to them, but that's a bit wayward, you know? So I kept seeing your results. You were getting crazy results for the guys in HTP, now Hybrid Consultant. And so I was like, this has to be where I need to go, you know, this is the guy. Because I consumed everyone else's stuff and I felt like you were the most knowledgeable in a sense. And on top of that, you seem like you actually cared about getting people results, which is what I respected massively, you know?
Yeah,
so
100%. No, I appreciate that, bro, honestly. So it's like, there's a lot of people that would be kind of like in similar shoes as well, too. They're making like a decent amount, but they don't really think like a mentor is going to like take them to that next level, bro. So like, what would you say to those types of people that like are just kind of like on the fence where they're just like, you know, consuming information and they're just trying to like piece everything together? Because you were in that spot before and like you made a decision, obviously. So,
you know what I think? I think if you're a complete beginner, I don't think a mentorship makes sense. Just on the basis that you haven't even done the hard work of making something happen. You don't even know if this is the business model you want to select.
Of course.
I respect all business models that leverage the internet, leverage AI, leverage social media. So maybe growth operating isn't even for you. But you don't know yet. You haven't broke the mental barriers to understand that you can actually achieve things.
Of course.
So I just don't think a mentorship makes sense in that position. However, if you've garnered some success, right? Even if it's that first 1, 2, 3, 4K, definitely buying someone's information will help you avoid all the silly mistakes. take the most accelerated path, and overall just have someone as a soundboard. You know, someone that you can literally bounce ideas off, and they'll tell you, I'll be honest, I tried that, didn't work. I'll be honest, I tried that, that did work, you know? So I think it's incredible, and you just need to take action, honestly.
100%. So yeah, obviously you took action and like, you know, you joined like the whole mentorship and the program itself. Like, what would you say was like the biggest thing that like you started doing like that you weren't doing before that just allowed you to just accelerate the results you're getting, not for just for yourself, but for your clients as well?
You allowed me to work on the business and not in the business, right?
Mm.
You refined for me. I remember the first touch point I had with you where I paid you some sort of money was a consultation call
Yeah.
where it was for appointment setting.
Mhm.
That was crazy sauce. Crazy sauce.
Yeah.
Just on the basis that I wanted to hire my first appointment setter, but I didn't know the framework they needed to follow. I didn't know how to find a good appointment setter. Like, I just didn't know. And I didn't even know they were going to be that effective. You know, we scaled with my first client to 12K, roughly shy of 15K months, no appointment setter. Pure stories and content. just vibes, bro. No system, no appointment setter, no nothing. Just vibes, bro. You know? So it's a case where I was like, I don't know how to do this. And I hit you up, had that consultation call. I had a full framework, which I still use till this day, to show people how to appointment set, how to hire. And now I have a really good intonation and idea of who to hire.
Yeah.
So that was incredible. Then I knew, okay, cool. HTP is going to be amazing. Jumped in and you gave me systems, bro. Sales tracking sheet, you know, appointment setter tracking sheet, automations they can use to make sure they're dialed in, how to manage your team, how to set expectations with the people you're onboarding, how to manage clients the right way and to make sure they don't actually leave you or screw you over, you know, so many different things where it's like now I have infrastructures in place. If I'm sick one day, if I'm a bit tired, if I don't really want to work on the business that day, the business still runs without me. You know 100%. What I'm saying? So I think 100%. That was really important. Honestly.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key things because there's so many people that just like, if they leave for a day, the business is just like messed up, bro. It's cooked. Like, and if you have those systems in place, especially the people as well too, bro, that's like one of the biggest things. Like if you have not just the systems, but also the people as well, that's when like you go to like that next level, honestly. So that's pretty cool, man. So I'm just curious, like to know a little bit more about like your thought process when it comes to like certain things as well too, because one thing I've noticed about you is that like whenever I tell you to do something, you do it like the next day or like the same day that I tell you to do something. You just do it instantly. So where does that kind of like speed come from? Because there's obviously people I can give the same information to, but they don't get the results like as quickly as possible, bro. So like where did that speed come from, bro?
Bro, I remember when I was just cooked. First year of uni. I had done business stuff in the past. I'd done like reselling stuff and I'd done decently well, never some 10K a month, but like for my age especially, like people kind of respected me a bit. Lost all my money, kind of got scammed and like just silly stuff. Lost my money, came to uni and I was just like depressed as hell, bro. Then I was listening to Andrew Tate while working warehouse, like religiously, like in my head. And the main thing he said was success like speed, bro. The quicker you can implement an idea is the quicker you can either fail or win. If you fail, you know, it doesn't work, let me try something else. If you win, you know, okay, this works, let me do more of what works, right? So for me, you're not going to give me necessarily bad advice. You may give me advice that doesn't work for my particular situation, but how am I going to know if I don't try it?
Exactly.
So I respect people like you, Yusuf, Suwe, Waleed. You've had more time in the space. You've got more experience. Same way you give me crazy advice, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to immediately put it to place. And if it works, well, 99% of the time it's worked. Exactly. I'm happy, bro. I'm up on the scoreboard.
Exactly.
But if it doesn't, I know that didn't work for me. Let me ask you again. You'll probably say, okay, the reason why it didn't work is this. And then do this, you know? So it's simple, bro, honestly.
Exactly. You just find something that, you know, you want to do. You try it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, you just keep doubling down on that thing. Because, that's like one of the biggest things, bro, honestly. So when it comes to like, obviously, you know, you build systems, you build structures and stuff like that. I'm just curious to know, like, you know, when you actually start getting the money, like, what do you actually do with it? Like, what's like your whole like process? Because I feel like some people, they can't really fathom making that amount. Like, what do you actually do with that money? Like, how do you like take care of yourself? I know like you travel, like recently you did some flipping Asia world tour or something like that. So what do you actually do with it, bro?
Do you know what it is? For me, this is nothing in terms of the fact that, and I think you have the same aspirations, so do a lot of high-level guys in the space. We want to be millionaires, bro. You want to retire your parents forever. You want money to be like a random thing you chuck about, in a sense. You don't want money to be your bind. So many people in life, they have this thing that, oh, money doesn't mean anything. And then they're working a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
40 hours a week, spending the majority of their life doing something that doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's a case where right now I'm not in this splurging phase or like trying to buy a Rolex, trying to buy a car. It just doesn't really make sense.
Of course, yeah.
I have to be in the building phase to build something incredible that will last me a long time. But I do believe traveling is one of the best investments you can make. That's not an expenditure, that's an investment. Of course, I'm talking about proper traveling and not going to Ibiza on some lads holiday, you know what I'm saying? Like actually soaking up a culture. Because for me, one of the most incredible periods of my life was the period where I traveled. I went to Bangkok for like 2 to 3 weeks and then Bali for like 3 to 4 weeks. Honestly, the most incredible period of my life, and the basis that, number one, I had to learn how to run my business while traveling and trying to enjoy myself. That was difficult in itself. But on top of that, the network I gained from that trip, I gained like one of my biggest clients who has 1 million followers off the back of that trip by meeting him in person, you know? And so many networks I built, so many synergies I built between different people who are higher than me, like clear of me. So it's the point where I'm seeing these people who are high energy and I'm like, damn, I need to step up, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
So I think if I were to say the main expenditures, obviously business costs, but I don't really splash on myself. It's just like, if I want to travel, you got to travel.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's one thing that money just gives you. It just gives you like, it gives you a bunch of access to a bunch of different places that you wouldn't be able to get into. Like you being able to like go there, you know, because, you know, the business was doing decently well and then boom, you sign a client. So, because if you're hanging around those like nice places, you're not going to be around poor people, if you know what I mean. And like if you're with those people that actually, you know, make a lot of money, they can impact your life as well too, like, you know, positively. So yeah, that's really good, bro, honestly. So let's go back to like the growth operating stuff, because I feel like that's like where the meat is at. So specifically, what was like the biggest months that you did specifically for your clients?
Okay, so with Callum Raymond, C-Ray Trains, fitness coach / influencer, the biggest month we did was last month, and that was just shy of 40k, bro. We were on 38k. It's annoying,
that's good.
Just on the back that we had a 2k close, but then the person refunded it.
Oh,
so we were gonna hit 40k, you know what I'm saying?
It happens, man. It happens,
but, that was incredible, and that was good. With Alex, 25k, and then Ollie, the tennis coach I work with, 10k. You know? So those 3 clients, just running up with them. Recently signed Tristan Social, big dating coach, 1 million followers.
Amazing.
I'm gonna rip it up with him. Goal is to easily get him to 100k a month, and I think that's more than tangible. Just on the basis of the things that he was lacking before I joined, and the team that we're putting in place. Like, already got closer, 3 setters, appointment setter dialed in for him. We're just building out the offer properly and ripping up the content in terms of transitioning from purely entertaining to educational, nurturing content, because I think that's one of the binds that a lot of influencers have. Yes, you can build a brand or build a personal brand, and that's cool, that's amazing, but if you can't nurture your audience and show them that you're an authority in the market, that you actually have something tangible to teach, it's pointless, bro.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I was even on a coaching call just this morning, and he was a client, and he had this like client that had like, he was like 18, 20k followers, and he was a dating coach, but he was making like normal Riz videos where he's walking up to girls and talking to them, and it's like, that kind of content is cool, it's gonna get views, but it's purely entertainment when you think about it, bro. And when you're making those types of entertainment videos, there's no real buy-in to be like, yo, I want to hear what this guy has to do. So I think content has been like it's a big thing that a lot of people overlook, because everything starts from the top. Like your sales process, your set of stuff, they can be so down, but if the people coming in are just not good, nothing is going to work, bro, honestly.
No, 100%. And that's the thing. Like, I think the beautiful thing about the growth operator business is that you can cut it apart and see where you're like losing, in a sense.
100%.
Like when you're not doing good months, you just have to analyze, okay, cool, is it a sales problem? If it's a sales problem, you fix the sales. If it's not, you move on. Is it a setting problem? Maybe it's a conversion problem of some sort. Your conversion metric makes no sense, right? Is it a content problem? Is it an ads problem? But you can just piece apart the big giant that you have, the machine that you have, and you can understand, okay, where am I losing? Cool, fix that. Fixed it, still not working. There's another problem that you can't see, you know. And that's one thing I think that helped me a lot in terms of when I first came on with Callum and Alex. The main problem was that I didn't even know the problems they were facing. Like, Alex had like almost like a content type problem. Callum had a bit of a setting problem, but you were able to analyze and say, okay, cool, his content's good, his content needs a bit of work. This guy, and then boom, happy days, fix each problem, and then you're good to go. You know,
100%. What would you say was like the biggest problem that you were just like painful to like solve? Because everyone has like business problems, right? So what was like the biggest?
I think
one?
the biggest problems are problems you can't do anything about. Let's say content, for example. Yes, you can give them a script. Yes, you can give them guidance on how to make it. But at the end of the day, you are not them.
Yeah.
You know, so let's say, for example, they don't want to do a style of content. That's tough.
Yeah.
It's difficult. And one thing we were speaking about earlier is the fact that there's a book from, I think it's Ben Horowitz. It's called The Hard Thing About Hard Things. Big CEO this guy is. And he said the hardest thing is managing people, bro.
Yeah.
Systems, you know, like certain things inside a business you can do something about, but people they're changing, ever changing. One person who maybe could have been like someone alongside you, they may have changed their angle. Maybe they don't want to do something anymore. Someone inside your organization could have been a key piece, and then they're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it's
so
like,
it's like, bro, what do you do? Even clients, you could say they have one vision, and then all of a sudden they're like, nah, I don't really want to do this. So then what do you actually do, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one thing you taught me about expectations. You know, you have to set the expectation beforehand, and then you're going to be good to go.
100%. Yeah, because there's only really like the whole like stuff about like making money with business. It's all simple stuff. Like sometimes it even becomes math. I like the simple thing, but the thing that's like difficult is just like the people management game, bro. It's like once you can get good at that, setting expectations, you're going to just like build a company of people that actually want to like work with you like long term. 100%, because I made so many mistakes as well too, like with expectation management, and that's why like, you know, I'm able to teach people and like explain it 100%. So that's good, man. That's good. So talking about like, you know, the business problems specifically, like when you analyze like the whole growth operating business stuff, it's mainly just like a couple of different things. It's mainly just like it's the market, the people you're selling to, your offer, traffic, your conversion process, and then your sales stuff. So it's like out of those like whole things, what would you say was the thing that you just didn't understand before you came into like, you know, hybrid consultants and stuff?
100% the setting. I didn't even know how important a setter was in the first place. I didn't even know that they could be such a significant part of a business. You know, as I said to you, you helped me hire my first setter and put an actual setter framework within. And now it's a case where your content could even like not be performing well in the algorithm. Sometimes the algorithm kills you, bro. It's like, it's tough. But because you have a good setting team, you're able to pull something out of the fire and keep the month consistent, you know? So I think your appointment setting source is incredible. Genuinely, every time a new appointment setter comes into the organization, I give them your training, bro. Because it's premium stuff, man. They come on, and the thing is, it's so funny. Appointment setters come on and they're like, oh yeah, I've been through this training, and I'm like, cool. We do the interview and I'm like, yeah, you're cooked. I said, it's fine though, because you have potential and you seem like you're a coachable person, so I am going to take you on. I give them your training and they're like, damn, that's good, bro. I didn't know that about setting. Because setting is simple. All it is really sales, and sales is where is the prospect? Where do they want to be? What's been holding them back, the roadblocks? How do we make this gap as large as possible? How do we build their pain? And then from that point onwards, how do we bridge our solution and put it in the middle? You know,
100%.
That's all it's about, right? And if they have that in the DMs, they're going to do incredibly well. Of course, they need to qualify and everything like that as well. But you taught me that framework, and since then, I've had a much clearer understanding of appointment setting as a whole, and then how it filters in with the content and everything like that.
100%, yeah, because appointment setting was like a big thing, because I was in a bunch of programs where like the whole thing was just like appointments. So I just got so good at it, and I just started, you know, realizing how simple it is, honestly. So once you understand the framework, everything's easy. I'd honestly, like maybe you could agree with me on this, is like I would rather have like a setter and a closing problem than like a content and like an offer problem, because those 100%. Those are the hardest ones to solve,
bro. Honestly, it's the thing where I fixed both problems, so I understand how hard each is to solve. And 100%, a content offer lead generation type problem is way more difficult to solve than a setter and a closer problem. Setter and a closer, with the closer, if they're not cooking, you either need to give them better training or you need to get them out of there. Right. With setters, of course, you need to set good frameworks with the team and consistency and that type of stuff. But for sure, the problems aren't usually as bad as you think. With content problems, I've taken, let's say, for example, one of the newer clients I onboarded, the tennis coach, from when I first had him, 26k followers to now like 55k followers.
It's crazy.
And then on top of that, actually nurture the new audience to make them not just like tennis, but want to actually buy from him in a sense.
Yeah.
And so I've seen that, okay, you can fix those problems, but sometimes you're doing everything and it's still not fixing. So it's
Yeah.
like, do we have to run ads? I don't know. It's a bit difficult, you know? But 100%, I think set a closer problem is a nicer problem to fix.
Yeah, it's a nicer problem, honestly, because like you don't want a situation where I had where like the setters are doing the work, the closers are doing the work, but like they're telling me 90% of the people they're talking to don't even make 1K. It's like, how are you supposed to like, it's fucked. Yeah, 100%. It's one of the like hardest things to like fix, honestly. But once you get that, I think you're going to be doing really well. So once you solve those problems and like, you know, you understood like how your business used to operate, what does it like your day-to-day look like? Like every day, like what are the things that you work on in your business to, you know, make the amount of money you're making right now?
I recently got a virtual assistant. She's cooking. She's amazing. I think she makes my business a lot more dialed. So I do start off by jumping on a call with her, go over like the intakes from the day before to make sure that everything is good. And for my teams, I make sure we have like a daily target, because you can say I want to hit a 30k month, a 50k month, a 10k month, but you have to divide that into the day-to-days,
daily inputs,
daily
of course,
input and daily output, you know. So we go over that, and then I just assign her tasks. From there, every single day, I guess, we'll have team calls. So it's with setter manager, the setters. The clients don't necessarily have to jump on those, but it's just to keep the setter teams in check. And then for the Tristan team, they have a closer as well. So I have a separate sales training for him just to make sure he's dialed in on top of things in terms of that.
100%.
And then like I'll have a bunch of different like miscellaneous calls that are just like different things. Like let's say I had a call with a guy who's building one of my clients an AI voice bot for the appointment, setting like the DMs.
Ooh.
So that's gonna cook, right? But we're building that, we're trying to source that up, and that's actually going really well, you know. So a lot of those miscellaneous stuff, and then like I'll have calls with people, let's say building funnels or building systems out and stuff like that. But overall, a lot of calls, but then a lot of deep work as well. Right? I'm trying to piece together certain things, whether it's just making sure the ads are good and scripting out content, because I do write content scripts and plans, like an entire marketing plan for each team every single week for the client. So for me, that is one of the bigger deep work sessions, just because content is massive leverage. You write good content, everything else falls in place a lot easier. Sometimes you won't even have to have a good sales call. They just say, I've loved your content. You solve my problems. Boom. Money, you know?
Just like that. Exactly.
So, that's really important. And then, of course, there's loads of other stuff. But hit the gym as well.
Nice.
Basketball,
that's
whatever.
good. That's good, man.
But
So what would you say like your deep hour works every day is like? How much is that?
Do you know what it is? I think it's lessened just on the basis of, before I was doing like everything, but now I've like put other portions of the work to other people, because you have to delegate if you want to scale.
Of course.
But now it's more like in the morning time, maybe if I wake up maybe like in between 5 to 7 a.m., try to hit some form of a short workout, go to Canary and just go from like, let's say 8 to maybe 1, just locking in, because you don't really have calls in the morning. Just lock in, bro, and then get some stuff done.
And then the rest are just calls,
bro,
and then you do that and you make like 15k a month. It's crazy. So I mean, like it just shows, because obviously when you start out, you're always going to be grinding. Like every single day you're doing something, there's something to learn. But once you get to that point that you can kind of like automate stuff, you can obviously like scale. So that makes a lot of sense, bro. So like currently, like right now, what does your team structure kind of look like that allows you to just like kind of relax in a sense and not really, like obviously you're still working, but like not hammering like 12-hour days and stuff like that? What does the team structure look like?
So set a manager, insane role, like Dominic, killer.
Shout out Dominic.
Genuinely, shout out Dominic, because he's a killer. And it's funny because he jumped on a Zoom call with me and I thought he was applying for a setter role, but he was like, nah, I can help you manage your teams. I didn't know how useful and necessary it is, because you're no one's Superman. You know, no one's Superman. You can't do everything by yourself, you know? So Dominic is amazing because he keeps the synergy between every team and makes sure they're dialed. End of day reports, conversation reviews, tracking sheets, make sure everything like that is good. For the Tristan team, got closer, Stillion, killer, and then I pretty much have 2 setters on every role and then 3 setters on Tristan's role. So probably over 8 setters now. in the organization, full-time editor for my content, and then I also like referred him to all my clients, so he does their content as well. Because
That's important
Gabe,
as
shout
well.
out to Gabe though, he's a killer. Genuinely, like he's just dialed in, virtual assistant, and then I'm just trying to make things more dialed and more synergetic, because I would say in this point in time, I'm not necessarily trying to gain a crazy amount of new clients. It's just about making sure these current clients get to their income goals.
Exactly.
You know, and
100%.
that means the world to me. You know, that's so important, because I think some people forget that. Okay, you want to get another client, but what about your current clients? Are you taking care of them?
Yeah.
You know? Are they happy? You know, and I think that's the most important.
Yeah, so many people focus on like getting new clients, but their current clients not even getting results. It's crazy. That's really good, bro. Because it's kind of lean. Obviously, people say like, oh, ace sellers, but it's not like, you know, they're all like super like full time. They all have like stuff that they do as well too. So mainly it's just kind of like you got your VA, go your seller manager. No, you've also got like you do the editor as well too, which is like that's all you need. Honestly, that team could probably take you to like 20, 30 like consistently, and you wouldn't really like go crazy, honestly.
100%, honestly. So I think it's a thing where the good thing about growth operating, of course, if you want to scale to dark areas like 50, 100, you have to just replicate those teams multiple times.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily the most like laborious thing. You have to work hard in any business model if we're being realistic. So it's a case where I enjoy it because you can piece together each thing. Like, there is no business model where you can do paid ads, learn content, learn how to manage people. You're basically a CEO, but like at a way smaller scale. You know, so I think it's incredible, honestly. And then, of course, the fact that it's rev shares means everyone's paying on performance, so you're incentivized to go higher and higher and higher and higher.
Exactly.
You know? So I think it's incredible, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. What would you say to those people that think like growth operating is like a scam? Because I feel like a lot of people have always said that, oh, it doesn't work, it's just trash. Like, what would you say to those people?
Do you know what it is? I think growth operating is just a newer term.
Yeah.
It's been a business model for so long now. It's like all you're doing is finding someone who has either expertise or attention and monetizing them. A music label is essentially growth operating, because you've got someone with this crazy talent and who's gaining attention towards themselves, and then you're saying, okay, you've got this attention, we're going to actually help you make money. We're going to handle all the tours you do. We're going to handle the publishing. A book publishing agency is growth operating in a sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're just someone with talent, but who needs the output, you know, the
Exposure.
attention. You're giving them that. All you're doing is the fact that people have talent. They have creativity, they have ability, but they may not have the business mind, and you're just the business mind behind it. You know, football agents, it's the same thing, bro. It's
They're
all the same
getting
thing.
them connected.
So people saying it's a scam, I mean, bro, it's just a new term for a business model that's been around for years.
100%.
Right? And so they just need to tap in and actually just work, bro.
Exactly, 100%. Because there's so many other industries that like this whole thing is like in there. It's just like I feel like people, they get the terms and then like, you know, they associate the terms with some like, you know, negative connotations. So 100%. So I'm just curious, bro, because like I've always had this thing where like, especially when like you're younger, you start like making money specifically. Like, how is it with like your whole like social life and stuff? Like, do you like do anything? Like, you know, do people like reach out and be like, yo, Isaac, could you pat me still? How is it like?
That's funny. Do you know what it is? I feel like, and people can say if they agree with me or not, I don't really care, but I feel like I've stayed the same whether I have money or not, you know?
Yeah.
Because I just think it don't really make no sense to change up. Money's an amplifier. It doesn't change people.
Exactly.
Who you were and who you are now is just amplified.
Yeah.
Right? So that being said, with my friends, I still see them, not as much as I used to before, just because I'm hella busy.
Yeah.
But I still love them from the bottom of my heart, and we see each other as much as possible. With people who I travel with, like let's say Peter, for example, one of my really good friends, but also someone who I do business with in a sense, like we grow together, you know, and it's just like the brotherhood in a sense, keeping people around you who are going to push you every single day. And he's one of those
100%.
incredible people. My brother, like he supports me all the time, and he's just an incredible guy, all my family as well. But it's a case where on the girls' side, you've got to push that to the side for a bit, man. It's grind time, you know.
It gets busy,
so
bro, trust me. You don't
push
want
that to the side. And then social life wise, I'm not really someone who like likes to go clubbing per se, just because, bro, like it's such a degenerate activity.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not saying like you should never ever go to the club. That's fine. But people who go like twice a week, once a week in uni, that's so cooked, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like every day, you know.
Bro, they look forward to Friday, and that's sad. Look forward to every day. You know what I'm saying? And like, bro, like I've never drunk alcohol, I've never done drugs, so what am I gonna go to the club for? To just be in the dark with some music, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, I feel you, but yeah, trust me, I've never been to one, bro. So these ones, I don't know, I don't see the appeal, honestly, but I actually don't see it. So that's good, bro, because yeah, like you said, bro, it doesn't really change you, it just kind of like amplifies what you already currently have. So that's cool, man. So what would you say was like the biggest thing that you learned specifically from like the whole mentorship that just allowed you to, because obviously it's not just the business is down, also your mindset is down as well too. Obviously you get that from the start, but I'm sure there's things that you learned specifically, not just, you know, maybe from me and also from other people in the program itself. What were the things that you learned that allowed you to be like, this is it, and scale to that next level?
I would say it's a newer thing that I learned from you, and it's the value of SOPing everything that you've learned. SOP, standard operating procedure. Filming videos, modules, getting systems together of everything you know, so that number one, in terms of selling that, you can really monetize that. Like you were telling me about all the really B2B stuff you're doing, just on the basis of having the knowledge and the system that you have and being able to say, oh yeah, I have all the systems to plug into your business. Here they are. X amount, you know, that's incredible, number one. But number two, giving your team way more synergy. How many times are you going to say the same thing over and over again? Or you could simply record it one time in a Loom video and say, this is how you hire a good appointment setter. Boom.
Just like
this
that.
is how you do this part of the sales call. Boom. This is how you film very good content. Boom. This is how you handle someone in the DMs who's doing this. And then you SOP it all. And then it's like, Isaac, I need help with this. The setter's asking. You're like, have you watched that video? No. Go and watch it.
Go watch the video.
You know what I'm saying? It saves you so much time. So I'm in the process of doing that right now. I think it's going to save my life, you know? It's gonna make me so much.
Trust me. It's so satisfying to be like, oh, have you watched the video? And they say no, you just tell them watch the video. And then they have no questions after that, literally. So that's good, man. That's good. So obviously, like we know, like obviously where you are right now. So what's like the whole goal, man? Like what's like the next like 6 months goal looking for you right now?
If I were to say the next 6 to 12 month goal, I want to get to that 83K a month venture, or like the target in a sense. Mm-hmm. It's audacious as hell. Right?
Yeah.
That's like the $1 million month. The reason why I say 83K is just because it's the million.
Yeah, that's $1 million a year.
Like if you did that for 12 months consistently, you're making $1 million a year, you know? And obviously, I'm not trying to say when you get to $1 million, like, oh, everything's just green. I probably have more problems, right?
Exactly.
But it's a case where, for sure, with the agency side of things, combining the agency with the B2C stuff I want to do soon, like, I think that would be incredible.
Yeah, you can do that, honestly. You can get the agency to a point, because what the agency is going to do is like, it's like an actual structured business. So you can get that to the point where you're working with only high level clients. Yeah. You have smart people in the back, and those smart people are getting paid really well. And then you have like your stuff where you're just talking about what you're doing, and you're getting people being like, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And then you could get it to that point quite easily. I know so many people, they're just maybe doing like B2B, and they're scale the B2B stuff to like a high enough level. And the same thing with B2C as well too. And just obviously picking your venture, man, honestly. So yeah.
Bro, 100%. And I can't wait for the future, what the future holds. I think just have to stay consistent and not get complacent.
100%.
I think the biggest thing is that complacency kills, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you could get to X amount, and especially I'm moving to Bali in like a month.
Yeah.
So if you're making X amount over there, bro, you have
everything's
you know what I'm saying? You have no incentive to work, right? But you have to have deeper goals than, okay, I want to make X amount, or I want to do X thing. It has to be, you have a reason why. Why do you actually want to do this thing? You know, I say this in sales calls. If your reason why is very shallow, you're not going to get anywhere, because when it gets tough, you're going to be like, time to check out. But if your reason why is very deep, if you have a strong reason why, when it gets dark, when it gets difficult, you're going to be able to say, you know what? I know why I started this, so I can keep pushing forward. You know,
100%. I respect that, honestly, bro. So yeah, man, like what would you say to anyone that's kind of like in that position where, you know, they made a little bit of money, but maybe they haven't like made the amount that they want to make, and they're just looking for people that can actually help them get them there? So what would you say is like, you know, one piece of advice to those types of people that might be watching it right now?
I think for sure you need to have some formula of what remotely works, and ram that thing that you found out that works. Do it as much as possible. If you then keep doing that and garner no success, you know you're doing the wrong thing. And then you pivot. If you have some ability to pay for some knowledge, mentorship, something, do it if you feel like it makes sense, you know? For example, He's helped me incredibly. If I didn't pay him, I don't know where I would be. It might be cooked, you know what I'm saying? I know I would have still got there, but it would have taken me a longer period of time. Of
course.
You know? But for sure, you always need to remember where you came from as well. Because this is the thing. Let's say you were making 0, right? And then you got to 3K a month. And because you got to 3K a month, you're now looking, I want to make the 10K.
Yeah.
But you forgot that you came from 0, you know? You have to remember where you came from. You remember your maker, remember, you know, who helped you in different times. But then further than that, you just have to put in the actual day-to-day work, bro.
100%.
Daily inputs.
That's like the main thing.
Yeah, literally, bro. It's like the life you live is the life you chose. That's like a Luke Belmar thing.
Yeah.
Everywhere in terms of like where you are right now is because of you. Purely because of you. You can blame anyone else. Get away from this like victim mentality.
I hate that mindset, bro.
It don't make sense because I used to, you know what? I don't want to say I used to be like that because I don't think I was. I think I was always relatively accountable, but I think I reached a new level of accountability where I understood everything is my fault. Even someone else's problems are my fault. Let's say my mum can't pay X bills, for example. Let's say hypothetically. Bro, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Because if I was making X amount of money, I'd be able to pay for them. Like recently, I was able to give my parents a sum of money. Nothing compared to what I want to give them. Bro, like that feeling is incredible.
Exactly. And like they actually get proud of you as well too, bro. That's the thing.
It's insane. And I was speaking to one of my mentors and he makes an insane amount of money and he was able to pay off his parents' mortgage. He was like, there's nothing greater.
But no better feeling, bro. Honestly, yeah.
Bro,
exactly.
Genuinely, man. So I want to get to those realms, and I know for a fact anyone watching this, you want to do that too. Whether it's your parents, whether it's do something for your friends, whether it's do something for even if you have kids, if you want to have kids in the future, who knows? But I know what you want to achieve. You just have to make sure that you do the things necessary to achieve it.
100%.
You have to keep pushing when it gets dark. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? So yeah, that's what I would personally say, honestly.
Respect, 100%, bro. So yeah, man, like final thing I want to ask as well too. What would you put the mentorship like in the scale of 1 to 10? Where would you put that, bro?
Nah, genuinely, no sales stuff, no plug stuff because Mahiz is here. I've made reels that bro, I literally the other day I sent him 2 reels like, oh bro, I had like a podcast reel type thing and I literally just plugged the mentorship. Let's do a collab post. Bro, I promote Mahiz's thing to people he doesn't even know on a basis that he's helped me massively. Genuinely, bro. I want to say I appreciate your help,
so good,
bro.
So good.
Honestly.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, man. You can't go wrong. It's just a basis where you get the full idea of what your next steps need to be. Whenever someone gives you, and one thing I like about you is people in the group coaching calls will be like, bro, should I do this? I think it's a good idea. And you're like, nah. Like, you'll be honest, bro. You'll just be like, it's not a good idea, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm super blunt with
everyone. You know what I'm saying? You're just straight up. You're like,
yeah.
I personally wouldn't do it. But if you want to do it, I've told you don't do it. But you know what I'm saying? You're realistic with it, you know? So I respect that massively. The source was serious, like top tip. I don't think I've seen, in the growth operating space specifically, there's a lot of people, you know. There's Eddie, Yusuf, Suwe, like a lot of people. But genuinely, I would say, and this is not just because I know you personally, but I would say you've got the best knowledge in the space just because of the fact that you've worked with a lot of high-level people like Serge, for example, so you can attain the knowledge that you got from them. But then further than that, you really like break things down into the actionable steps. The good thing about HTP or Hybrid Consultant is that the videos weren't like 1 hour long for no reason.
Yeah.
But they were 10, 15 minutes, piece. How to do this, how to do this, how to do this. So then you can just watch the stuff that apply to you rather than you watching the whole thing and being like, yeah, I've got this information now. What do I do? You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
So many people do that, bro. They have like 40-minute videos and you leave the video with more questions than you had before.
It's crazy, honestly, bro. But yeah, man. 10 out of 10, man.
Nah, I appreciate that, bro, honestly. So I'm going to plug Isaac's socials in the description. Everything's all going to be there. So yeah, man, any final piece of words? Anything you want to say? We're good?
Yeah, man. The come up is on the way. I mean, I'm working incredibly hard now. Just trying to scale up the clients
100%
and launch my mentorship soon because I have to follow in your steps.
Of course, bro. Yeah, that's the way. That's the way.
Just stay tuned for the content and keep going, bro. And obviously, all praise to Jesus Christ. I appreciate you. And yeah, we'll keep going, bro.
Let's go, my man. Take care. Appreciate you. See you in the next one. Peace.